Hey, this your girl Carmen, relationship coach. And this video is about a Facebook post I did. I don't know whenever you're watching this, but I just want to tell you it's about a Facebook post that I did. And the post, actually, I shared it from a friend of mine who shared it. And you know how social media is. You share things and you really don't know the origin, or you don't know the person personally who originated the actual post. So anyway, but the post said, a woman who does not need a man, and that was in quotes, who does not need a man, has never, and then in quotes, never met a man. And this caused a little stir. And when I first read it, I was like, And then when I looked at it with, the eyes of a relationship coach, the eyes of someone who has done the work around relationships, the eyes of understanding that we've been created to be in relationship. And so when I think about that piece and a woman needing a man, and a lot of times when people read that, it's like, you don't need a man to completely complete you. And I completely agree with that. I'm not saying you need a man to complete you. I'm not saying you need a man to be whole and to live out purpose. But here's the thing, and let me back up for a second and say, this video and what I'm talking about is for Christian women who are believers, who believe that there's purpose in partnerships. This is for women who seek God about their relationships, who want to submit to the word of God, who desire a relationship with a man who's walking out a life that exemplifies the character of God. And so this is who I'm talking to. So I'm gonna say that first, right? And I should have started off with that, because if that's not you, I'm gonna allow you to excuse yourself, right? So we can go ahead and get that clear. So if that's not you, this isn't, I'm not talking to you. Don't have we're not walking in the same belief system. We're not walking in the same faith system per se. And so I want to get that clear so that you know who I'm talking to. So to my Christian sisters and to my brothers, but to my Christian sisters who, when you hear that, you get this little thing that flare up in you and like, what? I don't need a man and all of that, right? And no, you don't need a man to be complete. You don't need a man for God to use you. You don't need a man to walk in purpose. However, if it is a desire of your heart to be in a relationship, if it is God's will, you believe God's will, God's plan for you to be in a committed love relationship, a marriage, there's purpose behind that. There's purpose in partnership. When we look in scripture, God always brought people together. He said, even, don't be unequally yoked. That's because he's got a plan and purpose for that connection. When you look in Old Testament, and there were alliances made between different countries and between different nations and nationalities, it's because there's a purpose. So whenever we connect, whenever there's partnership, there's purpose in that. And so I believe, and I teach, that the coming together of a relationship of two people who decide they want to be in relationship with one another, that the purpose is bigger than the two of them just being happy, right? God has a plan, a purpose beyond that, and a vision beyond that. When I do premarital counseling with couples, I'm asking, what's the vision of the relationship? What's the vision of the marriage? What's the vision of the two of you? How are your two visions coming together, converging as one, right? Because you are whole. I hope you are coming to your relationship as whole and complete. I hope you are doing the work and have done the work of being healed from past relationships and past hurts or past traumas that sometimes this statement like this of needing a man, it triggers trauma. It's a trigger for you. And understanding where the trauma is and where the trigger came from, hopefully you're able to step back and say, okay, I don't want to act out of my trauma. I don't want to act out of being triggered. I want to choose a different way this time. I want to choose a different method this time of how I come together. So I believe the purpose is bigger. And like I said, you don't need a man to completely complete you. But here's the thing. You may need a man to fulfill the vision. again, and to fulfill the full purpose, the full destiny. Because if God is bringing you together with someone, it's not just happenstance. God is very intentional. Nothing just happens because it just happens. There's intentionality behind it. And so when you are in a relationship and you have decided to connect and partner in that relationship into the place of covenant marriage specifically, baby, understand there's vision there and there's purpose beyond that. And so you do need a man. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. You do need a man to help fulfill that, because what oftentimes men they can be a safe landing place. They can be a sounding board. They can be the covering you need, the prayer warrior, the partner, the one that covers and protects. Like all of these roles, spiritual roles that men play in our lives as women, that happens when you connect, and you need that. You need that. And I stand by that. And I know there are going to be the independent women who will say, I don't need a man. I can do this with, and I am in agreement to a certain extent. But when you are in a relationship, in particular one that's leading to marriage or one that's in marriage, there's a purpose behind that, and you do need him as he needs you. But we're talking about you right now. You need him. And whatever gifts, whatever skill set, whatever talent that he has, it complements, it fortifies what you're doing. So don't ever with our, again, acting out of our trauma and past hurts about men and relationships, that you're gonna block your blessing because you're pushing the right dude away. Now, that's a whole nother conversation, but that you're in a relationship with somebody who's the right guy. Don't let that past trauma and that whole energy of I don't need a man push you and keep you from a greater destiny that may be there for you, because again, you need him, and this purpose of bringing you all together so that the fulfillment of that destiny can be there. Even if it's y'all two got to get together because you all got to have this amazing child that's got to come into this world, or you all two get together because you all understand again, you're complementing each other on something. And so you need him to enhance even. And I know this is hard for some of us to hear, because we walk around, I'm boss chick, I'm diva this, and I'm that, and I'm ruling the world, who run the world, girls. Yes. And I'm telling you, you need a man. If that is your heart's desire. That's not everybody's heart's desire. Like that's not, and I'm not saying you, and like, please hear me, you don't need a man to be successful. You can be successful without one. You can still be in purpose without one. You can still fulfill God's plan without one. But if that's your heart's desire, know that that man is coming to bring value to the relationship, and he should be valued and respected and honored. And yes, you need to share with him. He's not just some accessory. He's not just some something you pull off the shelf because you want it and then put it back and put it away. No, he is bringing value to the relationship, value to your business, value to your ministry, value to your household. And you need that. We need the balance. Oftentimes we're running around in our masculine energy too much sometimes. And that's another teaching on masculine versus feminine energy. And I'm not saying you're being a man, but I'm saying there's a certain kind of energy that men bring to an atmosphere, just as there's an energy that women bring to an atmosphere. And duality of that, when it comes together in a committed monogamous relationship, when it comes together in marriage, it is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful dance. And you need that. Some of you all need it more than you think. And I just want you to pause for a moment, take off the ego. Don't come from your trauma that's been triggered. Come from a place of understanding that there's been ordained, that there is and again, if this is God's plan and your heart for this, that the man that God has for you, the man that will be in your life, the man that you choose, because we get to choose, the man that you choose will be one that is complementary, that complements your gifts, that complements and comes alongside and affirms who you are, and you fulfill purpose within him, and he does the same within you. When I talk to married women, happily married women, honey, they would tell you they need their man. No hesitation, no ego. And that's where you got to get to, even as a single woman, where you understand the value that men bring to your life, the value that the man of God will bring to your life. You still powerful. You still boss chick. You're still diva, right? You're still all of those things. And you need a man. I know it ain't popular. It rubs some people the wrong way. I get it. I understand. I used to be there too. They used to be my same energy until I learned better and I received better, right? And so when you experience that kind of love, that kind of selflessness from a man, when you experience that kind of support, encouragement, that kind of impartation of speaking life into you, you realize, yeah, I just ain't never met that, right? I ain't never seen that. I didn't know that could be, right? And when you experience that, you realize I do need this in my life. And so God will mature you, prepare you for that season, so that when he comes, prayerfully, you will recognize that. And instead of shunning it with the, I don't need a man, I can do for myself, you would embrace and welcome it, understanding that he is a part of God's purpose and plan, and the fulfillment of God's purpose and plan in your life. And I know the word need, people like, yes, I want a man, but I don't need a man. I know the word need is hard to hear. In this context, I'm saying need as in needed to fulfill the things that God has for you, that you aren't called to walk the walk fully all by yourself, handle everything by yourself, and all of that, that you are called to be in partnership, covenant partnership, purposeful partnership with a man of God who will value, respect, and honor all that you are in all your awesome power and greatness. And you will be able to look to him and understand better about why he was sent there, and allow that relationship to flourish, to allow the fulfillment of God's plan and purpose for your life. Receive it if you will, my sister. I love you dearly. This is Carmen, your sister friend in faith, life, and in love. Bye now.